D'Huez.
Ventoux.
Alpe D'Huez. Ow. Well, let's start off with the tallest, okay? Or the nearest to the moon.
Furthest from the centre of the Earth.
Good point. Now, Alpe D'Huez is a quite whopping 1,912 metres above sea level. Now that, my friend, is very, very high indeed.
Certainly is. And to be fair, Monsieur Ventoux isn't too far behind, Matt. It's 1,850 metres above sea level. But the road to the top of the hill is longer. It's a 15.7 kilometre climb, and the average gradient is steeper too, at 8.8%.
Well, the average gradient of Alpe D'Huez is 8.1% over its 13.8 kilometre length, but it has something that Ventoux hasn't, and that is an airport.
What on earth does that have to do with anything? Well, despite the terrible lack of airport at the summit of the Ventoux, it is definitely the harder climb because it isn't just longer, it isn't just steeper on average, it has the steepest single section as well, at 21.2%.
Well, Alpe D'Huez has got a little bit that's 19.3%, but the bottom line is, mate, it doesn't have an airport. So why, Thomas, do the Tour de France organisers insist on using Alpe D'Huez so much if it's second best? They've used it on 29 different occasions as a stage finish during the Tour de France's history. Do you know why? Because they like it.
I think you just hit the nail on the head there, Matt. They like it. Alpine climbs aren't meant to be liked, they're meant to be feared. And the Ventoux is definitely feared, and it's used sparingly by race organisers due to its savagery and its notoriety.
Well, believe that if you will.
I do.
But it's still languishing behind Alpe D'Huez with 29, when Mont Ventoux has only got 10, if you include this year's. Languishing. This is 29. It's really hard.
Ready?
Go,
You ready?
you go for it. See?
I did it. Okay, Matt, like you said, history doesn't lie, so I'm going to have to concede that Alpe D'Huez has been used more times for stage finishes than Mont Ventoux.
Thank you.
But what I'm wondering is how many times has it been woven into the narrative of the stage and used before the finish?
Well, by my calculations, Tom, 3 times. 1964, 1976, and in 2013 when Alpe was actually covered twice before finishing, when Christophe Riblin won. And get this, in 1979, the finish at Alpe D'Huez was used twice. Stick that in the Ventoux pipe and smoke it, my friend.
Ventoux definitely can't claim to have been used for 2 stage finishes during one tour, but it has featured as part of a stage rather than a stage finish on no less than 6 occasions, which is more than Alpe D'Huez, if you didn't know. Did you know?
I know now.
Did you know, Matt, that there's only one rider in the history of the Tour who has won stages that finished on both Ventoux and Alpe D'Huez?
Yeah, I just can't quite recall who it was at the moment.
Well, as you don't know, I'll tell you. It was none other than the legendary Marco Pantani.
Yeah, didn't he win in 1995 and 1997 on Alpe D'Huez, and then in 2000 on Mont Ventoux?
You just read that off my notes.
No, I didn't.
You did.
It's all up here, mate.
You did.
It's up here.
You read it off my notes.
I know my facts.
Ventoux.
Hey, Alpe D'Huez.
Ventoux.
Ah. Alpe D'Huez.
Ventoux. It's Ventoux.
Alpe D'Huez.
Ventoux. What about nicknames, Matt?
What about nicknames?
Well, I think Ventoux wins hands down due to its legendary, its mythical status. It's known as the Beast of Provence, the Giant of Provence, and the Bald Mountain. How does Alpe D'Huez compare to that?
Alpe, for a start. And then there's Dutch Mountain, due to Dutch riders winning 8 of the first 14 stages up Alpe D'Huez.
You made one of those up, and the other one's an oxymoron, so I'm claiming this round. I've won it.
Right, Tom, let's sort this out once and for all. Which of these 2 illustrious summit finishes, we agree on that, has had the most thrilling finales over the years?
Ventoux, Matt, hands down. No competition. 2013, Chris Froome leaving Nairo Quintana in his wake like that, with a devastating turn of speed and the signature Froome devastating turn of leg speed.
That was pretty impressive, but get this. 1952 Alpe D'Huez, Fausto Coppi dropping Jean Robic with about 4 Ks to go to take the stage, the yellow jersey, and the Tour overall.
That's totally unfair. You remember that. There's no way I'm going to.
That's just cheeky.
1974, and Eddy Merckx on the Ventoux, soloing to victory to take the yellow jersey and the King of the Mountains too.
That was mightily impressive, but remember this, 1999 Alpe D'Huez, Giuseppe Carini, away on his own, collides with a spectator, falls off, remounts, gets back on, wins the stage. And what about last year when Nora Quintana nearly wrestled the Tour de France on the slopes of Alpe D'Huez from Chris Froome? I'm exhausted.
Me too.
Should we call it a draw?
No, we're not going to call it a draw, but we want to know what you think. Comment below, Mont Ventoux or Alpe D'Huez. Which is cycling's most legendary climb?
Alpe D'Huez.
It's Ventoux. It's definitely Ventoux.
Anyway, for our top 10 Tour de France facts, how about clicking just up here? And for all things Tour de France, and specifically our Tour de France playlist, how about clicking just down here? And Tom, how about these?
These are our limited edition t-shirts that celebrate everything great about cycling in July. To visit our shop, click to Matt's right, and to subscribe to GCN and make sure you never miss another video, click here.
Meanwhile, me and you, outside.